guys, my name is Natasha R. Robinson and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about how the carnivore lifestyle has changed my life and what improvements I've seen. I'm going to go over 4 main things that I have noticed in the last almost 9 weeks of being carnivore. So I feel like the question that a lot of people would probably be wondering is, why carnivore? What made me go carnivore? What made me want to try living this way? So excuse me if I'm looking down during this. I'm just like reviewing my notes, making sure I hit all my points. So how did I find out about carnivore? Actually, I had a really good friend of mine. He kind of brought it up. And I was just like, oh, I would never do that kind of thing. And as I looked more into it, I was like, you know what? Wow. I heard about a lot of people being able to heal autoimmune disease, heal inflammation issues, heal pain. And I was like, oh, I'm interested. So I kind of started doing my own research on a carnivore diet. And from there, I kind of was like, okay, this is something that I want to give a shot to. I don't think that I realized how all the stuff that I was eating was impacting my energy and my mood in such a significant way. I feel like I wasn't putting, despite the fact that I'm a nurse, I wasn't putting 2 and 2 together to say okay, my energy and my mood is being affected by everything I'm eating. I wasn't thinking of it that in depth. And I feel like now that I've done more research on the carnivore lifestyle and heard different people's testimonies and things that they've improved and different things, I feel like I'm starting to understand why food has such an impact on mood and energy and mental clarity and all that stuff, more so than I did before, whereas I thought, oh, I could just eat whatever I want. As long as I'm a healthy weight, then I'm healthy. And there is so much more to health than just a number on the scale. And I am really starting to see that and really starting to understand that. Even though, for myself personally, I like to see a certain number on the scale. I'm one of those people, but that really doesn't determine health, because if you are a healthy weight, but you're in pain all the time, you have mental fog, you have no energy, then it's just like you're not healthy just because you're at a healthy weight. So I think that's like a mindset that, I'm kind of having to get out of so that I can further learn what actual health is and gain that health. So that's kind of how my mindset was before trying the carnivore lifestyle. Carnivore lifestyle actually has not been difficult for me at all. I started noticing differences, I would say, within the first 1 to 2 weeks of only eating meat, no vegetables, no donuts, no carbs, none of that stuff. I really started noticing the difference. So again, today I'm gonna go over 4 of the things that have improved for me living the carnivore lifestyle. First thing that I've noticed that has improved is my energy. Okay, my energy before, let me tell you, my energy before was like this throughout the day. Anytime I would eat donuts for breakfast, I would have high energy. I would be ready to do it all. By 2 or 3 hours later, after I ate those 3 donuts, my energy would be poor. I would be irritable. I would be ready to go to sleep. I would be just like, oh, I just feel blah. That's how I would be. And my energy would go like that throughout the day. That was just my normal, when I would eat, donuts for breakfast or something sugary for breakfast, my energy would be up and down. And even eating carbs for lunch or cookies or snacking on cookies or popcorn or pretzels or all this stuff, my energy throughout the day would be down and up and down and up. It was no stability. So the thing I've noticed that's improved is steady energy. I don't feel like I need a nap after a few hours after breakfast. I don't feel like I need a nap a few hours after lunch. I feel steady throughout the day. I feel like, wow, I feel energized. Even after working an 8-hour day and coming home, I still have energy to play with my children. I still have energy to read a book. I still have energy to cook. I still have energy to just be up and doing things, even after working an 8-hour day. I am a psych nurse, so I do feel like some days I am emotionally drained from work, depending on what happened that day, how patients were that day, just different things that may have occurred throughout the day. But I still feel just energized, just that steady energy where my mood is not up and down throughout the day. Or my energy is not up and down throughout the day. It's just nice, stable, and even where I just feel energized. So that's one of the biggest improvements that I have seen. And I've also had a friend tell me that's an improvement that they've seen in me also, is the steady energy. So the second thing that I've noticed that has improved on the carnivore diet is my mood. So a little background, I have been diagnosed with bipolar disorder a long time ago. And that's just, I thought that is exactly why my mood was always so up and down and energy was always so up and down, was because of the bipolar diagnosis. But let me tell you something. When I changed the way I ate, when I stopped eating the high sugar, high carb foods every single day, I noticed my mood started being more stable. Meaning, like, my mood before, again, went with my energy up and down and up and down. So throughout the day, I was happy and I had a lot of energy one minute, and I was down and sad and didn't feel like I had a lot of energy. Then I was frustrated. A big emotion that I would go through a lot when I was eating high sugar, high carb foods is irritability. That was one of the biggest things I would deal with on a daily basis when I was eating the standard American diet. Donuts for breakfast, cookies and pretzels and quesadillas and chips for lunch and dinner, and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and all these carbs. When I was eating like that, I would deal with a lot of irritability. And the difference in the irritability is a lot of the times I couldn't pinpoint the irritability. Whereas now when I get upset about something, I'm able to pinpoint. It's like I'm able to think more clearly. And that has to do with my number 3 thing that I have seen improve, but I'll talk about that in a moment. But the stable mood, I really noticed that being more stable. So I always thought that my temperament was just up and down. Irritability, anger, very snappy. Every little thing got under my skin. I literally thought that was just who I was as a person. But being on the carnivore diet, and I thought that was part of the bipolar diagnosis, but being on the carnivore diet, I've actually noticed that my mood is more stable. When I'm upset, I'm able to rationally talk about it, state why I'm upset, state what's going on, actually work through it. Like, I'm able to think so clearly that I'm able to work through why I'm upset or what's going on to trigger me. So I'm able to know that difference. So basically, I've been less snappy. I've been less irritable. My mood throughout the day, I feel energized when I wake up. I feel very just, not only, like I said, in the first way carnivore has changed my life, which is a stable energy, I now feel that stable mood throughout the day. I feel energized throughout the day. I feel like I have energy. I don't feel snappy. I feel more relaxed and just things are okay. Less anxiety, that's for sure. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the carnivore diet has, made my life amazing and there's just roses all the time and everything is amazing and great at every second. That's not what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is I've noticed the difference in the stability of my mood. My mood is more stable, I'm more energized, I have less anxiety. I'm able to really think through things and think on things and make more sense of them rather than my brain just going to that irritability like it would when I was eating high carb, high sugar for every single meal. Whereas now I eat meat every single meal. That's another big change I have noticed on the carnivore diet is now I have stable mood. I've been having stable mood for the last 9 weeks. Even the first week, within the first couple of days of eating carnivore, I noticed that I started having steady energy. And I noticed that my mood was less irritable and I felt more positive, more hopeful. And I was just like, okay, wow. And as it's gone through the last almost 9 weeks, I've had that same stability in my mood. The third thing that I have noticed that's improved on the carnivore diet is I no longer have mental fog. Okay, I think sometimes we get so used to having certain symptoms like certain pain or certain feelings. We get so used to it, we think it's normal. We just say, oh, that's just part of me. That's just how it is. But when you start changing the way you eat and you start fueling your body differently, you start to notice like, wow, I actually feel good. Wow, I actually feel energized. Wow, I actually don't feel anxiety. I actually feel hopeful. So another thing that the carnivore diet has improved, the number 3 thing, is I no longer have mental fog. So I felt like for so long that mental fog, I just can't even explain it. It was just like a fogginess. I'm a rational person overall, but I just felt like, I don't know, like this just fog in my brain. Like I would just forget stuff and not be able to remember, not be able to recall information as quickly. Like just this fog over my brain, where sometimes I wouldn't be able to articulate myself as well when I was explaining something or when I was going like problem solving. It was harder, but I've noticed I've had more or no mental fog. So I've been waking up clear-headed, where I feel light and I feel like, wow, I actually feel just good, just in general, like no caffeine, I've not had to add anything or do anything extra besides just eat meat. And I feel no mental fog. Number 4 thing that I have noticed that the carnivore diet has improved in my life is no more joint pain. Okay, so a little bit of a backstory. I'm not sure. I think it was 2022. I think it was last year. I believe I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, and it is called mixed connective tissue disease. I remember this one instance where I couldn't even walk. I had to go to the ER. I was in so much pain. I've had so many flare-ups where my hands were literally like Mickey Mouse hands, with the Mickey Mouse gloves on. My hands were swollen and I couldn't move them. I've had pain so bad I couldn't even pick up my own children to hold them, to show affection, to play with them because I was in so much pain. I couldn't even put on my own shirt. I was in so much pain. I cannot describe the amount of pain I was in. I have 2 children, and labor pain was better than the pain that I have been in from mixed connective tissue disease. I'm telling you, this pain is horrible. I've had to walk on crutches because I couldn't put weight on my feet because my ankle joints were so swollen and my feet were so swollen, and it was so painful to just walk. I've had to walk on crutches. I've had to wear boots on my foot. Those little, I forgot what they're called. The little boot things that you wear when you like sprain your foot. I've had to wear those. I've had so much pain. I have gone to the ER so many times where they've had to give me different pain medications to just stop the inflammation and to stop the pain that I was in. It has been that bad. I've had that bad of episodes. So I know what pain feels like, and the pain from mixed connective tissue disease is a pain that I wouldn't wish on anyone. I don't want anyone to have to feel that, to not be able to be independent and put on your own shirt at 29 years old. I'm 30 now, but this was when I was 29. But to not be able to put on your own shirt, to not be able to pick up your kids, to not be able to move your hands like this without pain, to not be able to get up because you are in so much pain. I never want to go through that again. And anybody that is currently going through that, there is hope. I'm going to tell you right now, there is hope. Okay? So that's a little bit of my backstory. So carnivore diet has improved it. Okay? So the doctor put me on a medication called hydroxychloroquine. It's a medication they use for, I believe, a lot of autoimmune diseases. Lupus being one of the main ones. I hear that medication for a lot. It's the medication they put me on. So basically, even while taking this medication, I was having breakthrough symptoms, meaning I was taking the medication every day, but I was still having joint stiffness. Sometimes my wrist would hurt. I would have a day here and there where my wrist would be hurting. I was literally having breakthrough symptoms. It was nothing like where I couldn't function through it. It wasn't like, back last year when I couldn't put on my shirt or I couldn't walk or I couldn't move, or it wasn't that much pain, but it was just like, okay, I'm having some stiffness. Okay, it's hurting to write. It's hurting to move my wrist. I've had those type of breakthrough symptoms, even while taking the medication that is supposed to help the symptoms. So I've noticed the last 9 weeks on carnivore, I've not had stiffness in my hands. I can move my hands, I can move my joints. I was having trouble with one of my knees. It kept like popping and locking, and the pain would be so bad from it popping and locking and doing all kinds of stuff when I would walk. I have not been having that pain. My knee has maybe popped 2 times that I can think of in the last 9 weeks, but I feel like I have so much mobility. I'm able to move, I'm able to exercise, I'm able to walk, I'm able to hold my kids. I don't have pain in my hands, I don't have pain in my elbows. I don't have pain in my feet or my ankles. So that has been a big improvement, to not have that stiffness and to not have that knee popping, because I'm telling you, that pain hurt, and it would just randomly pop when I would walk or when I would be sleeping in the bed or anything like that. And it was just like horrible. I would not wish that on anyone. But I've noticed, being on the carnivore diet, I've noticed that has improved for me. When I was having the breakthrough symptoms, I was eating high sugar, high carbs. I was eating a lot of inflammatory foods, and I don't feel like this was helping me, but it's not like my doctor ever said, hey, if you change what you eat, then, it could change kind of what your body's doing in this, autoimmune response that you're having. No one ever told me that if I changed the way I eat, I could have different symptoms. And even as a nurse, I was not thinking enough about myself. I had that mindset. If I'm at a healthy weight, if I look good, then that means I'm healthy. That does not mean that you're healthy. A lot of people that are skinny have autoimmune conditions, have, different diseases, are in pain all the time. That's not a sign of health. That's not a sign of being healthy when you are in pain all the time, or when you have disease. That's a problem. So we definitely want to just get out of this mindset that skinny equals healthy, because skinny does not equal health, and as I go through this carnivore journey, I am learning so much and really starting to get to know myself and getting to know what works for my body and what's gonna give me healing. And it's a lot of just really experimenting, the main foods I've stayed on is a lot of eggs, a lot of ground beef, tri-tip, cube steak. So I'm eating a lot of the same things, but I feel like I'm just making like different things with them. Like I do hamburger patties, I do meatballs. I have ate cheese a few times through the last 9 weeks, but I feel like cheese can be a slippery slope for me personally. So I feel like for me, staying away from cheese and maybe eating it just every now and then, as long as it doesn't give me any ill effects, and I haven't had any ill effects from cheese. I actually haven't had an upset stomach, no headaches or anything like that. Oh, that's another thing I want to go over with you guys. So I haven't had anything like that from eating the cheese. Like I said, in the last 9 weeks, I've only ate cheese a few times. It hasn't affected me. And that's the thing that I want people to know. You have to find what works for you, okay? What I'm doing exactly may not work exactly for you, but tweaking it and doing something differently and taking something out of your diet and seeing how you feel without that thing in there. Starting to experiment and really get to know what's working for your body and what's not working for your body is a really good place to start. For instance, a friend of mine, he is also very, very low carb diet type. And he noticed he recently ate rice and beans. The next day, his back was hurting. He didn't feel good. He felt kind of like groggy. You really have to be aware of how things are making you feel that you're eating, because it's very important to know how things are affecting your body so that you can tweak things and that you can have a way to go about doing that. I think in general, for me, trying the carnivore lifestyle was just about being open to trying something different. Obviously, the medications hadn't completely helped, and just kind of going along, hoping things get better, it hasn't helped. So that's why I was willing to really try the carnivore diet and really put my all into it and dedicate myself to really trying it and being open-minded with my results from the carnivore lifestyle. So for me, I think being on the carnivore lifestyle, the carnivore diet, it's more about healing naturally. I don't want to be on medications for the rest of my life and that just be my life. I don't want my health to continue to go downhill. I don't want mental fog every single day and anxiety and irritability to be my normal mood or my normal temperament of how I am as a person. I don't want those things for myself, and I don't want to be in pain. So I just got to a point where if all these other people were finding healing by eating meat and cutting out the carbs, then maybe there was something to it. Maybe I could find healing by eating meat. Maybe I could find healing. And it's not just about eating meat, it's about changing what you're fueling your body with, I think. And that's where a lot of people say like, oh, it's so crazy, you're eating only meat. It's what is working for me. And that's something that's very, very, very important. You have to do what works for you. This carnivore lifestyle, from what I've seen so far in the last 9 weeks, how my body has responded, how I'm just responding in general, and how I feel in general is amazing. The thing that I want people to take from this video is not, trying to copy exactly what I'm doing so you get the same exact effects as what I've gotten and all the healing I've gotten even just 9 weeks in. The thing I want people to take from this video is find what works for you. Find what ways you can improve your health. See what things you can add, see what things you can take out of your diet to maybe improve your mental clarity, improve the pain that you might be in, improve your mood, improve your energy. See what things that you can do, that you can change, that will work for you and your lifestyle. You know, this really is about this is about finding healing naturally. And Carnivore Lifestyle is giving me that opportunity to find healing naturally. Again, Carnivore Lifestyle may not work for everyone, and that is okay. The point of it is to find out what works for you. The point of it is to experiment and see what foods make you feel good and see what foods kind of make you feel like, oh, this doesn't work for me. I just want people to have hope that, you know, medication is not the end of the line, especially for people with autoimmune conditions like me. You know, medication is not the only way to fix something. And a lot of the time, medications just manage symptoms. They don't completely eradicate the disease or the illness anyways. So we want to be able to look for natural ways that we can heal the body. And diet and nutrition, what you're fueling your body with, is an excellent place to start. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe and to share this video. If you think that this video will help somebody, will kind of give them some hope about maybe pain they're in or some suffering that they're going through with autoimmune conditions or with, you know, different mental health diagnoses, share this video. Know that there is hope and there is healing, and it starts with your diet. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Bye.